Welcome back. Map number 2 between MouseSports and G2. I should say another game. It's a best of one, home and away sort of affair. So 3 points already on the board for MouseSports. And indeed, match number 2 coming up. An absolute bloodbath for G2 in the first map there. Didn't get anything going on Nuke whatsoever. Moving forward, hopefully we see them wake up. But MouseSports just look like they've stabilized. Is that your truck you're throwing around?
It is, yes. Dan dismantled it and put it either side of the axe, which is now.
And now the axe is all broken.
Yeah.
Kind of lost our touch in the studio, haven't we?
I'll do it again.
Oh, here we go. All right. Well, Daniel, what are the? Hold on. Is it in?
Crikey! Don't ever say that again.
That says the man of the axe. Anyway, do we feel like G2 can bounce back from that? The morning we don't. There's nothing really.
No.
There's no evidence to suggest there's any signs of life right now.
There's no redeeming features.
No, there wasn't anything. Was there? Like if the strategies were there, they were getting the bomb down and just came down to some clutches. I'd be like, okay, they got unlucky. Lots of close rounds there. 1v1's going against them. Felt like every single round, Chris J was just in a different position, finding 3 frags, no smokes down, no flashes, and they're just getting picked up one by one.
Like it was ECS on the team even. I didn't see anything. I didn't even see his perspective for the entire match.
That's a good
and
question.
Shox got
actually.
a kill on the 12th round. That was his first kill.
Yeah, I don't know that we saw much of anything from Kenyas. Whatever they were trying to do in that particular match, I mean, they're clearly making a conscious choice to try and do something specific, okay? And it didn't work out, and it looked disastrous. But I have to trust that they were trying something which, because we don't know what they're doing, it looks terrible, and it is terrible in results. But I have to believe that they were just like, that was information for them. So I don't expect this match to be anything like what we just saw.
We said last time.
I sincerely hope that was an aberration.
We saw last time, well, G2 can't get any worse for them when they played Optic, and then it was the exact same score in the next map. So I'm feeling it might be a similar equation here. We will see. Optic were not even looking as good as MouseSports right now. It's good to see MouseSports, though, have Snack actually firing on all cylinders again. He's not looking like career best or anything like that, but he's competitive and he's part of the rounds now. When he first joined, it seemed like this was going to be a disastrous run for them. They might have to consider bringing Sticko back, but now they've won New York. I think it's like the monkey off their shoulders somewhat, and they could potentially develop as a team. They don't feel as much pressure. Now they've got a championship and they can focus on their own games. Do you feel like Snacks is going to feel more comfortable in this team now? Is it just down to they got the tournament victory and he can play his own game? Was it too much pressure on him before, perhaps?
Longer the better, I think. Communication, they said, was an issue, but that wasn't necessarily Snax's communication. That was Stico communicating for multiple people, and that going away, and it's, oh my God, our communication is terrible. So they have some building to do there. So I think it can only improve with time.
Sure.
I wouldn't be sad if Stico came back, which isn't saying anything about Snax. It's just I was sad that he made a change in the first place. He's still obviously sitting there in the wind at the moment, and maybe they'll see how things go in the short term with MouseSports and then look to release him to greener pastures. I can only assume. Where
do we think Sticko will go? He's obviously it's a role that's in demand now, right now, Dan. The players that don't want to be superstars, that can fit in. Fnatic, yeah, that would be an idea, I guess. Whether they would ever change from a full Swedish roster, I don't know. That's the thing. More and more teams are being forced to do that, though, recently. They just had to sacrifice their communication. I think MIBR is a prime example of that to get the players they want.
Yeah, I think the main thing at this point with everyone playing FPL, I think the main thing is where you have like a lot of different teams. Like if you look at Mirage A on CT side, you go beyond the toll booth and go by those big brown doors. Some people call someone standing there get right. Some people call it scream. So it's I think the main thing isn't speaking of English, but it's necessarily how you refer to particular points on all the maps. That you might have like a way that you say things in Sweden, whereas international may say something different, and so on, and that could be confusing.
A prime example of that, the CIS region, especially teams like Na'Vi, for example, they don't call positions on the map like a certain name. They won't call it underpass, or they won't call it triple or anything like that. They actually name the bomb site by numbers. So they'll have
still do that.
Every box will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is the most efficient way to do it. It's like a grid system, effectively. So instead of having to think about what does that name translate to, everyone's on board what the number is. So it's very quick and fast communication. Instead of having to say multiple syllables, it's one number, everyone focuses on it, and they can shut it down. So if you are a Russian player that was used to that, going to an international squad, it could take you a lot of time, even with playing FPL, to understand how a team breaks the map down and how they've been doing it for a long time, and for you to really get your head around it. So it's definitely something to be said there for, I guess I've never really done it. I've played with Scandinavian players before who've always had very good English, but I haven't played with someone from like a region that maybe not so educated in the language.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I want to say he speaks Russian or some. He's got the language in his back pocket, but I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be Russian, so maybe like a Gambit or something.
Yeah, that could be. I think Gambit is such an interesting team right now, aren't they? It was funny at New York that no one expected them to do anything. They'd come in announcing Hobbit was about to leave, and they played their best CS this entire year. There's so much psychology, I think, in CS. When they finally let go and given up and realized they're going to let a player be released, it seems like everything clicked all of a sudden. They stopped caring so much and just played their game, and it looked like they were actually dangerous. They got to the semi-finals in a tournament they shouldn't have even got out the group stages. I think Counter-Strike is such a funny game sometimes in that respect. Just heard the body's having some internet issues here, so it could be a few minutes yet. So we're going to have to break them down. So what is the next map? We can maybe focus on that. Inferno, as usual. It is a common map in the European division. Like we said, we don't really see the North American maps too much here. We don't see the caches. It's normally either Mirage, Inferno, and I guess Nuke as well we're seeing quite a lot of.
I want a new map. Where's the new map?
Tuscan. Bring it back.
Bring Tuscan
You ever played
back.
Tuscan?
I want CPL Mill. That's what I want.
What was
Well,
the
you
old
can't have
name for
that.
Tuscan?
Because it's owned by the company.
What was-
Anyway, sorry.
What was the old name for Tuscan?
It was always called, that was, Tuscan was based on Mill. So Mill was released by the CPL originally.
Why don't we just buy the CPL?
Well, I think now would be fine because that company is defunct at this point. But the problem is when they wanted to play Mill outside of the CPL events, they owned the intellectual property to that map, so they had to reskin it, remake it, and call it Tuscan. And then it was the same map effectively, but it was better because they removed some of the stupid things like the sewers all the way to B that wasn't really part of the map whatsoever. So they had just sewers that went to A sites and towards middle. And I feel like it could be done in CSGO. I don't think anyone but the map maker owns the rights to it. And he has made a CSGO version, as far as I know. Just Valve haven't got in contact and haven't done
There's a
anything about it.
Tuscan, there's a Toscan.
Yeah, exactly. They've been made, right?
Right.
They're there, but Valve just don't seem interested in implementing it. And we haven't seen any old maps like that come back. We haven't seen any new maps really in CSGO. Like Overpass is really the only original map that's come into CSGO that's actually been part of the competitive map pool.
I think that I don't know if it's FMP1 or FMPone. I know most people say
Everyone always
FMPone.
tells me and I can never remember what it is.
I'm going to say FMP1, but I know that he... I like having the police in the background, just, on occasion. I think he leaked a map overlay of the cache that he was redoing, which is completely different. It's basically a new map.
So it's a remake of cache with a new map?
Yeah, more or less. It's not like a aesthetic update. It's basically very, very, very different to the point where it might as well be a new map, from what I can see.
That's fun.
Actually, on the subject of new maps, I did have a short conversation with the developers about canals.
Okay.
And I was saying that they're in an interesting, I don't know if paradox is the right word, but it's an interesting situation where it's a kind of map where it's so different to the normal standard maps that you need the data to play the map, right, to consider what you wanted to do, if they had any intentions, which I don't know if they did. But because it's such a takeaway from what you know in Counter-Strike, people will be reluctant to play because people don't like getting wrecked, right? Which is why I think 1v1 games, it's harder to have them these days. But it's a weird paradox where you need more data to really do something more daring with the map, but you can't get the data because people are reluctant to play it because it's outside of your normal.
Well, this is why you need someone, in my opinion, at Valve who has competitive experience, who knows what makes a map work, and you're not necessarily basing it all on data you've got from public games and trying to work out what the heat maps say and all this sort of thing. You need someone who's got competitive experience and look at a map like Tuscan and say, this is what was good about it, this is what worked, this is what didn't. We can implement this, we'll release it to a small group of pros and they can give us their feedback as well, and we'll have an actual conversation instead of just throwing something out there and seeing what happens to it, like a new weapon, for example, and just seeing what the hell happens and hope for the best. I find it fascinating that Valve don't seem to have any interest in bringing anyone with proper esports experience or in competitive Counter-Strike knowledge. It seems like they're all developers and programmers, and they're all fantastic at their job, obviously, but they don't have necessarily the tools within the Valve corporation to actually have a good judgment on what's best for esports.
I would love to see three or four or five people, just a mapping team for competitive Counter-Strike, because as you said, it's actually kind of alarming that the game has been going for so long competitively and that everything is built around that, and we only have had one original like original CS:GO map. That's incredible.
Yep.
And there is so much that you can be done. That's very interesting with the maps. That if you had a mapping team, it would keep everything fresh. And if you could have that consistency, as you say, you cut out some of the time that's required to test a map because you have guys that understand how to build them and some of the fundamental principles behind it. And it's more of a sure thing. There's more testing. Drop 2 completely original maps that have 2 seasons a year, drop one in each half of the year.
I find
it's
just quite dangerous, I think, to release a brand new map. Obviously, like James said, you do need the information. Does it work competitively? That's why I feel like Tuscan's a much safer bet because we know that works in the Counter-Strike realm. We know how it plays out, and the teams will be familiar with it as well. At least the Source players will be very familiar with it. The 1.6 guys will know it from Mill. The game is live. I just confirmed that we've got MouseSports starting on the CT side of Inferno, so it could be a bit of a disaster here again.
Yeah, just quickly though, I think like we have plenty of maps, like the map core guys and are doing fantastic work. So the maps are out there and people could choose, but I don't think we'll ever have the organization to get pros to play it, for example, all the time really, the way things are at the moment. But I would like to see those maps picked up more. Because they're out there. Why else make them? They should be more than just operations. We see 3 people moving up the arch position now. Snack's trying to get out of that tight choke point of Speedway, manages to do that. And as you can see, his priority is staying alive. Not going for the 1 versus 3 peaks, and he's managed to do that.
Oh wow, he's actually locked them off with the smoke. That's actually pretty huge. So you can see that on the minimap they're trying to split on this B bomb site, but this smoke buys so much time for MouseSports to try to flank these players and to try and defend more adequately. And you can see Chris now able to take some additional shocks because Snacks is being such a nuisance. He'll eventually go down, but there's a big chance here for MouseSports, but it is dwindling now. And maybe it's all but gone at this point. 2 versus 4, the bomb's about to be planted.
Certainly is. Not sure MouseSports will have much to say about it. Not the default plan to dissuade Sunny from peeking too much. Here we go, looking for the pre-fire towards the coffins. See him getting ready for it, but holding up. Robs will take shocks out of the equation here. And the retake is certainly possible. It's just going to take a lot of very quick kills any second now.
Oh, he's found a way around the corner, and there is the trade fragger if was required. Body. That leaves Sunny to save his Kevlar, cuts his losses, and hold on to what he has in the next round. Buy a pistol behind that and see what he can do. Still got 4 Kevlar. May even get a cheap helmet if he wants it, because he got shot in the head, so his Kevlar is perfect. The advantage of being shot in the head in a pistol round. Doesn't harm your Kevlar, because you don't wear your Kevlar on your face.
It will be 1-0 decent attempt from G2, going for the B split through CT spawn. It was Snacks that held them up with a decent smoke, but all he really did was hold them in position while they found frags, and they traded out effectively, but they do have to overcome the second round forced by a MouseSports here. See Deagles, CZs, and 5-7s as well. There is Kevlar available to Sunny and Robs here, and they are incredibly dangerous with the Desert Eagles. Sunny especially, one of my favorite players to watch with that pistol, so watch out for him. He'll be holding towards Banana. He's got a smoke, and he's just trying to hold up for now and see if he can get some information on this side of the map. But G2 happy with their Banana control and leave 1 player there. That's going to be Smiths. And they'll see whether that mid control can also be theirs.
Ooh. Re-peek from Body, not shy. Voloska will take one in the face. The weapon cannot be retrieved. See MouseSports starting to rotate. Chris J still on B. He's got another smoke, so we can buy time and funnel G2 towards A. But MouseSports is, sorry, what will G2's anti-eco round look like here in 1 minute on the clock?
It's very quiet at the moment. 45 seconds. Sunny tries to get a bit of intel there with Deagle, but ultimately finds a bullet in the face from Shocks, and Rops with the 5-7. Doesn't like to see that too often. He is very good at that weapon. Good for a couple of kills somehow. And this is actually possible. Bomb not close to being planted just yet, as it's in the pit at the moment. They are floundering somewhat, G2, as the CTs find more and more time to get closer and closer. They only have CZs and PP50. Now an MP5 for Chris J. I don't think they'll win this, but if they can get another kill, maybe save an AK, that'd be great. Smoke down to buy them a bit of access towards the bomb site here.
Managed to defend the first. Very nice. Instant headshot. Snags do anything more? No. Shocks and Smiths will do the job. Not sure how Robson managed to get that second kill of the 5-7. Very nice. So that damage will add up.
Yeah, this was fantastic. First one, very precise. Low HP on existence takes him down as well. But Smiths delivers the goods here. Can't play, and Shoxy to back him up. 2-0, but an expensive one for G2. Full eco at this point for MouseSports. Not really much to do. We'll send 4 players towards A.
I learned a nice retake, not retake smoke, but a CT smoke on B from watching Taco of Liquid play. I'm probably going to put a video up of it from the bench outside the entrance to construction from CT spawn. So if your smoke's off, you can still re-smoke it, because there's a pipe you look at and have a lineup where it just bounces very nicely for a good smoke. But maybe we'll see that later on. Shocks and Body making himself some nice money. 2 Glock kills for Shocks in quick succession. Don't see those very often. And here we are. Shocks has a good spawn for potentially an aggressive play. Up Banana. But Macton would be fun for that actually. But he will opt for the AK, which is never a bad decision.
Sure.
With Shocks specifically.
4 players of our helmets. Mac-10s looking for frags, but so's Chris J. He was an absolute tear with the AWP on you. He wants a bit more out of this? Oh my goodness.
It's happening again.
It is. It's the same thing. It's 1 by 1, Chris J picking them off.
Caught sleeping.
Yeah, they just didn't expect that repeat, did they?
Doesn't cost anything to hold an angle as you're walking across instead of staring at the wall.
It was pretty wild.
Costs nothing at all.
Oh, we take a Banana coming in. Chris J, how feisty will he get? Looks like he'll be fairly passive. Has a rotation coming in from Snags. And just taking a even more passive position towards the dark corner there in the B-bomb site. So looking really safe at the moment, MouseSports. They don't have much utility left except the smoke that Snags has, who is playing the rotation there. You can see him ready and waiting with that smoke. And says he's incendiary first. Chris J is burning though. Oh, into the next Molotov. That's worked out really well there for the G2 side as the push comes through. 2 versus 2 now after plant. Can GT hold on to this?
So boost up. It will be MouseSports to get the penultimate frag. 3 versus 1 now. Shoxy with no nades, but as we mentioned on Nuke, he's incredibly good in these sort of scenarios, especially on a map like Inferno. He has a bit of control, but Oscar nails the shots. It will be the first round on the board for MouseSports. Pretty convincing. He'll get both of the orbs picked up. Bomb defused, no problem there whatsoever. 3 players surviving. Money should be relatively decent. They can drop a couple of M4s if required. And there we go. First round on the board. FACEIT London Major. Happy times. Gone now.
Gone now.
Yeah. You know that venue used to
run boost.
That venue used to be a swimming pool.
Underneath it was, yes.
It still has a pool underneath it.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know that.
I saw down the freaks. I just forgot it.
Until, yeah, I learned a lot from that video.
Yeah.
Also, that he's a good stalker. Yeah. Gets behind you, you got no idea. Well then, let's see what these teams can do. Some pop flashes from Oscar. In case of an aggressive push, he's just going to have some fun in that arch position. Less Aya to draw from G2 in Banana, but at top B, Chris J will still be having some fun. I think Snack is holding a flashbang there. Oh! Body through the wall. Chris J has found yet more victims. Can we just play the where is Chris J? Okay, let's go Abe game now. Oh no, never mind, Oscar's there.
Okay, it's only like the second buy run in MouseSports, but it's already looking exactly the same as Nuke. I have to see if there can be something different here. There's lots of different challenges for MouseSports, lots more choke points, less open ground for these orbs to do work, but still somehow finding the space to do it. As you can see Chris going all the way deep on T-Pit. There's no way back for G2. They have to push forwards into 3 players, or they face Chris J. Don't know what's worse.
They're not going to check this, are they? They will. Snacks in a compromised position. The reset. Body now to get it done. Takes down Sunny. Good flashbang. Good teamwork. It's going tremendously well. Chris J so far removed from the situation. I think G2 might have done enough at this point. 4-1 is pretty much guaranteed. Chris can't justify going for this one. He'll head up towards Ruins, and that's Body with 4 kills, James, getting it absolutely done. As he came up towards the arch, flashbang from his teammate was perfect. Yielded a couple of frags, and it meant that there was no chance of Chris J even thinking about going for this round after getting 2 more kills to his name. 6 on the board, but that was Sunny completely destroyed by the flashbangs. And there it is, G2 with the reset. You can see 3 players with almost no cash whatsoever. Chris J will save the AWP. I assume they force buy around with the Deagles and see what's possible for them. This is much better, as G2 have already equalized the amount of rounds they got on the first map at this point in round number 5. Good stuff so far. 2 players survive for them, including Kenny S AWP. Body with his 10th kill. Very influential. Shoxy with 8 after having a very rough first map.
Very big round for G2. And that means the auto shotgun is coming out. Henry will be happy.
I'm ready for it.
You have no idea the things we've seen Oscar do with an auto shotgun on Inferno. Now, this might just be the right kind of fire to see that explosiveness. They've been expecting Chris J behind these sandbags. Sorry, not behind the sandbags, but top banana. So they may not be expectant, although Roscoe doesn't have really the range here. Still gets away with it, of course. The smoke towards the half wall. Now he can close the distance. If he plays here, his teammate can look over the half wall for a potential boost, and that's just a nice setup. That's how I like to play B, not with an auto shotgun though. But whatever works. Pre-fire, Chris J with the alternate angle. Kenny S will trade. MouseSports making it work with what little they have, but there's still a lot more to do.
Lots to do. A minute remaining now. With a bit of control. Kenny S firing off towards broken wall, seeing whether he could get the wall bang working in full effect. It's not going to be the case. They'll fall back towards the B bomb site. There's one player waiting there. That's Oscar with 18 HP. And surely no chance of surviving this. They spray that at all. He's going down. Narrowly misses out, and that's the shot I was talking about. Most teams will fire it up just to make sure no one's there. You're low HP. It's pretty much a death sentence going behind it, in my opinion. But either way, it's up to Snacks now to try and deny them any sort of entry towards the site. It's not going to work out. He does a little bit of damage, but the bombs will be planted comfortably here, even with the nades flying in. And that might be another save call for MouseSports here. We'll see if they want to save the 2 rifles or take a very audacious retake.
No kit on these 3 players. Rox, though, has something to potentially collect, apparently. On this occasion, it will be some lead in the pipe. Oh, that would have been a second one. A nice one for Sunny. Kenny can't really re-peek here. Great shot from him, though. Of course, he re-peeks. He's Kenny. And that should be the round. Maybe it's a question of damage now for Sunny, although if he can contain Kenny, then there's a fair chance he picks up an AWP. Lovely bursting from him, but a bomb won't send it in his direction, and he won't get back there fast enough to pick it up. Only Shock survives, but the score is 5-1 for G2. So far, so good.
Ooh, Shoxy will take everything away from them, and that has to be the full eco now. So, yes, only 1 player survives for G2, but you can see they've got residual cash, which is absolutely fine. They can buy up into this round, and they're almost guaranteed to have this one with 4 players surviving. So, that's another 3,500 potential dollars coming through. So, just... well, actually, nothing purchased for MouseSports, not a single dollar. Apart from Sunny getting Deagle armor at the end, spends a bit more than his teammate to get 3rd stage off bonus after this one. As we go towards B once again, the nade of the corner, trying to push anyone back. A headshot comes in. I think that might have been from a teammate, but Swift's 91 HP. Existence took the brunt of it. But Mac-10's more than happy to go in towards the B side themselves. See what's going on.
I need to learn a HE for Snacks' position. That should be HE'd.
Which one? Where is he?
He's on top of first oranges.
Oh yeah, you can definitely do that. Bounce off skybox, right?
So MouseSports are getting savaged. Having some hard times on the CT side. G2 looking much more comfortable right now. And into the B-bomb site they go. There's pretty much nothing you can do wrong in this kind of a round. It's MouseSports that stay so heavily. All we have to do is go together. Be friends. Go forth. A nice coordinated push. Here it comes. To the sights. And there you go. It's basically the round.
2 of the 3 players spotted in construction. They know at least one more person is there. Flying through, and there is a sweep up. Well then, we are getting that stark difference from G2 on Inferno. I really do wonder, like, you know, in the Premiership, for example, you'll have certain teams who are aiming for the middle of the table, not necessarily aiming for the top.
Yeah.
And I think that at this point, G2, so early on for these 5 players, I do wonder if they're like, okay, guys, it might not be reasonable for us to get top 4, so we can try and use some maps in a specific way to try and achieve something or find out something about ourselves. I'm just trying to make sense of the nuke and why we saw such unusual play, if you will.
Lackluster play. It's just so uninspired. It was very, very flat for me. But yes, it was bizarre. And Inferno looking much better, of course. It's always been a bit of a G2 calling card. With round number 8 looking good for them right now. They have no B control, but they've already taken that at the very start of the round. Instead of 5-on-5, you can see the really difficult weaponry for MouseSports here. They can't really justify much more than holding up in crossfires, allowing G2 to have middle and apartments. No information to really work with on the B side of the map. Sunny will drop down as he prepares for what could be a full execution towards the A site.
Kenny has always been a very scary prospect on an Inferno. Robs though by the smoke. Oh, that's a beautiful position around that smoke. So the workout goes to try to go through, and it's not going to pay off for him. Sunny alone with the Pamas on the bomb side. He does get 2 though, and support will come in, but quickly be dispatched by Kenny S. As Sunny tries desperately to hold on to the bomb site still, but he can only do so for so long. The snacks now comes in from quads, but Kenny S is more than ready.
Wow. Okay, Chris J, you've been good so far, but can you be excellent in the 2 versus 1? No nades, no kit. 2 players to find a bomb to defuse. It's not looking good, but a great start with the damage. It will be Shoxy, though, to come out on top. 7-1, chaps, and maximum loss bonus about to come in. That means they're going to have to take another eco here. Maybe a partial buy with the Deagles, but this is T-side Inferno, and G2 looking revitalized.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well then, MouseSports, still time for them to turn it around and have a good finish to what remains of this half, but unlikely on this particular round, as only 2 players have Kevlar. We'll see if Body will be the expedition man, the explorer for G2 with the MP5. I need to compare their moving accuracy versus the Mac 10. I feel like the Mac 10 on Inferno specifically is so good for clearing out the initial choke points, the usual choke points. But then maybe beyond that point, the MP5 may be better. Compare the damage fall off, get the old laptop out later. Take off the upper area of mid for G2. It's a nice shot. One of the Kevlar players eliminated. Now, how do they get around these corners? How do they avoid the crossfire between under the balcony and the A site? That is a question.
It's looking really tough here for MouseSports. Can't quite find the initial kill that you want with those Deagles. And G2 go for that classic wrap from the arch side, and it's going to work out really nicely. Kenny S showing exactly why he's so good. And 8-1 the score, so looking really good for G2 here. Even if they were to concede all the rest of the rounds, it's still a great half.
Yeah, and I think at this point it's an absolute bonus.
Yeah.
Shot from Kenny. Getting it done as the double orbs come out again from MouseSports. No auto shotguns this time. MP5 still in the hands of Body. That's a perfect weapon to have. 3 players with our helmets once again. So not only does he save cash, he also has a very deadly SMG in his hands. Silenced, and Kenny S is looking much, much better here on Inferno, Dan. Every shot seems to be connecting. He's taking down the protagonist from the first map. That was Chris J. He was absolutely fantastic on Nuke. Now starting to fall off somewhat.
Big gap in that smoke.
Which will help out the CT somewhat as well. They can still try and find a kill through it.
1 minute 15. Lining up a smoke towards CT. Body with Molotov. Where is that going? In the dark spot. Taking one of the common angles away from AWP. Might be next to the pillar there. Very strong position, but this smoke grenade is such an issue for teams to deal with, and that's pretty much the only way they do. Jumping through either side at the same time. 2 versus 3 now, although only one of those 3 is on the site, and maybe one is enough. Sunny now. The big flashbang, the bait's there, but peaks just before it goes off. It was a deeper flash as well, but maybe not deep enough to still land in front of Shocks, who's now on a 1 versus 2. He's got 35 seconds. He's got some time to find these players. Could shoulder peek, a wide peek from Rops, so Oscar could peek as well. Oscar and Rops, dynamic duo to get the second frag for MouseSports, second round for MouseSports.
It is. Shots from Sunny, saved the day. Good movement, good positioning. 3rd kill. Excellent, to be honest, as they lose 2 kills there. Will be MouseSports still on the cusp of breaking point. The double AWP setup still rolling strong. And need to avoid that reset once again. We'll see Oscar and Kenny S duke it out towards the quad side here. But it's going to be Oscar coming on top almost certainly now. Doesn't quite find the kill. There it is. It will be Kenny to go down. Lovely work. Existence will find one response straight away. That's the other AWP going down. Smoke and flashes deployed. The bomb site looks like it'll be the main focus here for G2. Through the flames they go. Smith's taking a lot of damage, but he does get towards the ruins very quickly indeed. Through the smoke. They might not be sure he's here. Or maybe they will.
Existence. Can he find a way in? No. Oh, actually back in the smoke in time. Well, Snacks will catch him there, but doesn't look like there's much of a way in here for G2. Trying to force the issue though. 3 MouseSports players were ready to respond, but quick incendiary delaying them yet further. Plenty of time still for G2 to make this push work, but Sunny, definitely a big problem here. It's hard to AWP over the flames, still makes it work. That's the first one down, 2 more to go, and the rotation can start to come in. Nice frag from Resistance. Sunny still working the Coffin's position with the AWP. Big problem to stay alive there. Now Oscar comes into play, cutting off the last man to support Existence. How does he get the bomb down now? Sees the shadow, but Sunny does the damage. Really nice defense there from MouseSports. A laboured effort from G2, and it does seem to be the case that they've lost some momentum.
Might be the case, Dan. 10k on Shoxy. They can buy up one more time, I'd imagine, but this opening kill was absolutely excellent to get them funneled towards the B bomb site. So Sunny picked up the AWP and Oscar joining in to finish things off. You see how it went down. It's been a very AWP-focused game so far. 8-3 as MouseSports continue to get themselves back in the game. Still so much work to do here. You can see the difficult buy at G2 here. 3 AKs, a Galil, and 1 MAC-10. Hardly ideal, especially the MAC-10 now up against 4 helmets. And banana control achieved once again. MouseSports not playing as aggressively as they usually would towards B. Maybe trying to get financially stable first before they start pushing the envelope on that side of the map, but allowing G2 to have full control of Banana most of these rounds.
Lining up a smoke, I think, for the arch. Body for some action towards short. Chris J, ooh, that was a nice flash from him. Oh, he tags, but no frag on this occasion. Smith with the MAC-10 just about managing to get the kill. Snacks just picked up a weapon. Footsteps will be heard, but G2 slowly moving away, leaving Shocks in situ. Always want to leave a lurker there. So it'll be Shocks and Smith to offer a fake, it seems. Smith with grenades, Shocks with a gun. Nope, they're going back. Seems some indecision here. Quietly moving away from Banana, and now back to Banana.
Back to the B-bomb site. Snacks this time holding the AWP. Not Sunny, but he can do just as well with that. Grenade damage coming in. Nice lineup there from Snacks. Pushing the smoke. Very bold moves from Snacks. And it's not going to pay off.
10 seconds, no bomb being planted just yet. Oscar gets another frag. Bomb goes down, still a fighting chance here for MouseSports. Shoxy low HP, and Oscar doesn't seem to care. Another tag that doesn't yield a kill. That's so frustrating. Great plays there from Oscar and Chris J. Unlucky they couldn't get the kills required. 9-3, and MouseSports still have a bite, I would say. It's not going to be great. They could scrap something together or take an eco here. What will they go for? I thought they'd go for it, to be honest. I need to process up and see what they can do with an auto shotgun. James, it's coming out again on the CT side.
Lovely leaves as well. Petals, if you will.
Petals.
You a petal man or a leaf man?
Leaf, exclusively.
Exclusively leaves?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all foliage. Oh, he hit that actually.
Oh, okay, that was
okay.
I was going to say, I thought it was, is that just dinks coming through the wall? No, it was on the other side of the map. That's body's gone down.
That was in second mid. Smith's again, a Mac 10 man. 3 players lacking helmets. G2 creeping top mids, looking for entries, looking for nasty surprises. Pretty smart of props, just a jiggle peek, just in case someone's holding an angle before looking to deploy his smoke grenade. Now, Smith could be in trouble here. He is in trouble now. He said, Oscar flying down the stairs with the shotgun. Home defense from Oscar. Coming to a store near you soon.
That's
certified home defense.
That's Army.
Flying down the stairs with the shotgun. Shoot on sight. From what I can gather from that sequence, it will be round 14 coming in. An eco by the looks of things, maybe not. Okay, so a tactical purchase from Shoxy with the AK. So just trying to cause as much damage as he can. As body will make his way towards B. Avoiding the nade actually pretty effectively, and will be taken down. Couldn't get the dink he required. 3 players towards B at the start, and now it looks like a bloodbath as 4 kills from MouseSports come through. That's a very fast round here. And another one, round number 15 coming up very shortly. Looking for 9-6. MouseSports pulling it back with 4 out of the last 5 rounds. G2 looking for double digits, which will be a huge improvement from Nuke. They managed to get 1 round on the T half.
Fast round is a good round when someone is on eco. We've seen. I feel like G2 always have a Mac 10.
Yeah.
This time it will be with Kenny S. He'll be hoping and praying to collect something later on, leading with the CZ. Spotting a very aggressive Oscar. When isn't he?
He is an aggressive player.
Fantastic to watch. Minute 20 on the clock. Last round of the first half. Will it be 10 or will it be 6? Smoke will allow the T's to burst if they want to, out of the balcony, or at least try to. Rops is well positioned to avoid many flashbangs, not all of course. Now a 4th player looks to rotate towards them.
What a position there from Robs. Picks up 2 for free, and the third. The spray down is almost perfect. Can't quite get Shox, the best performer on the team here. Absolutely for G2, and the snaps, of course, from Shox will save the day. But can he get the bomb down in time? He's got someone on his flank. Oh, how does he escape that? 21 HP, faking it out for a player pushing potentially from the arch side, but he goes back for the fight. Shox is unstoppable right now. Chris, last man standing as Shox waits for him. Can he make happen? 3 bullets in the AK-47? No! Oh, you feel like he can do it, but this time, no.
Shoxy was on 0 and 11 on Nuke T side. He switches things up and goes 23 and 8. How do you explain that one?
Yeah, it's back to normal. You spoke about the top and the bottom of the scoreboard. But 9 rounds. I mean, the main question is, will it be enough? MouseSports on the T side now. I would still favour MouseSports at this time. Ooh, 50k. Hello. Pass me the suitcase.
That's not bad. 50k worth of FACEIT points, guys. The only way you can have access to them is if you click the Get Loot button and attach your FACEIT account to the YouTubes. And you can be eligible for those drops. There you go.
There you go. Nice work, host Henry.
Thank you very much.
Host with the most.
I'm here all month. Here is the attempt from Shox here at some headshots. A really nice one towards Snacks there. Plucks him out of the air. Smith's doing similar work with the USP. And we'll be on a 5 versus 3 now with Oscar getting absolutely wrecked. Smith with some nice shots here in the pistol round. Looking for double digits straight away in the second half. We have to Sunny and Robs to defend. 5 players coming around every single corner of the bomb site. Sunny to strike first, but you can see they're in trade potential. They're waiting until the third player gets there. Flash will be coming in, and Sunny kicks things off efficiently. Can he find anything more? Not quite. Robs probably gets one of these kills, and then will be traded out. That should be the way it goes down, and indeed it is.
You can see like the way he was taking that second player. He was trying to like position himself for the next fights already to try to get his cover through to quad. So quite cool. But
did he burst the first guy? Did he? Was that because he fired
Maybe,
twice?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
More people are trying to use Glock burst fire these days, trying to make it a thing.
He used to be amazing in this game.
When the Glock first came out in CSGO, the first year of casting this game was a nightmare because the T side would always just win the pistol because the Glock could one shot, kill, and run and shoot at the same time. So, and it had barely any recoil. So, Glock's about perfect, I'd say now. It's actually in a decent place.
Shox should name his AK Headshots.
Headshot, that's not bad.
I liked the Glocks. The Glock in 1.6 was awesome. The burst fire was just close range burst fire to the head. And that was just very satisfying.
Yeah, they kind of ruined burst fire and all facets on CSGO.
Yeah, the FAMAS.
Yeah, how about that FAMAS, yeah.
That's just, yeah, so sad. It was so awesome seeing players who were good at FAMAS burst. Like Sneal. So the singular AK on Chris J. Should be fun.
I need a hero.
Let's see what works out. He's the Iron Man.
Oh, he's fired up his AK now. NAS might be a little bit more tentative with his approach. Still choosing to challenge that area. Nice shots to take down Oscar. This AK might do absolutely nothing for him. Remember, they got the bomb down in pistol. The objective of the AK in the second round is not to necessarily win the round. Obviously, that's always going to be the objective, but just to kill as many of the players as you can. So when the AKs come out on the rest of your team, you hopefully save and you've maybe found 2 or 3 kills as well. That's the dream scenario. So if we can get another plant here and a couple of frags, that would be great. They're just running towards B and hope for the best. Good flash coming in. Existence will be able to mow them all down here. Just that AK standing for Chris J. Now he needs to try and save it. He's got 10 seconds to do so. He wants to make sure he either dies before the round expires or survives. There we go. He's died. So he'll be on pistol next round, but his teammates will have AKs.
Not today, Jose.
It was actually Sunny that dropped him. Things. Chris J goes CZ armor. His teammates bring out the AKs.
Bonus round. Oh, no, there we go. Alrighty then. Oscar, he's just loving the buy menu right now. What can I not pick? Avoid the AK, avoid the AWP. Kenny.
He really wants that kill, doesn't he? Oh my god.
Manages to escape. I like that he went to the opposite side you'd expect to try and avoid the odd bullet. Sunny with 2 HP. Well, at least he's got Deagle. He's got the other AWP. G2 with a deep hold of the banana position and moving away from top mid, maybe trying to avoid the numbers game from MouseSports. They'll defend from the side, but they've got no vision towards Arch whatsoever. Oh my days.
What happened there?
Open sesame. Is this safe territory?
Might be. Shoxy can come in and find multiple players here. Oscar gives himself up, but he actually got a dink in before he went down, so that will confirm the save. At this point, MouseSports on the board in the second half. And a few rounds to get there, but it's okay now.
Yeah, I mean, they collected a couple weapons too, so that's really nice. The upgrades. Saw police sirens going on right now.
There's a lot of police going past today.
Yeah. What have you done, James?
That sounds like a fire engine, to be honest. So, some bad stuff going on probably.
I saw somebody driving a Mercedes 2 days ago in the morning, an old Mercedes, and the front like the right and I don't know, the wheel arch, the part of the body that covers the wheel arch on either side was unpainted, kind of brown, but one of them was hanging off sideways.
All right.
And it had clearly been in a crash, and he was just driving over, hanging off sideways, like out. Like if you're going past on a bike, it would cut you.
I'm sure it wasn't the road for very long. I'm sure that's been taken care of.
You haven't been here very long, Henry.
No.
You could take nothing for granted like that. You just don't know what's going on in this place.
It is one of the maddest places I've been to, in terms of the characters you see and just the mad stuff that's going on in the streets every day. It's very strange, but very happy at the same time.
Yeah.
Very stimulating.
Yes. Went to the beach yesterday, that was fun. But for now, we are in the gun rounds. And we'll see the AKs out in full force. Shoxy's got one as well. It's Kenny S with the AWP. Holding up to Banana. It's an awkward angle for him to hit, but he nails it. Chris J goes down. He's got the flames behind him to protect his retreat. And now, there's actually 3 players from MouseSports at the B entrance, and just one in the form of Snacks holding towards second middle. Final map of the European Division. G2 completely wrecked in the first. Didn't look like there'd be much chance for them on Inferno, but they actually are in the driving seat right now. 11-7 to their name, and 5-4 in round number 19.
"45 seconds, and here come the nades. MouseSports going for the B-play. Counter grenades from the CTs as well to slow things down. Good position from Existence. Always difficult to deal with that one. And cleanup is really strong here. Oscar will get himself a double to clean up the bomb site, but he's now in a 1 versus 3. Still has to get the bomb down as well. This will not be easy.
Here's some footsteps towards construction, but how many players can he identify? At least 2 at this point. I think it's fair to say. Knows where Kenny is now. The re-smoke though. Maybe has some cover. Slightly deeper. Not concerned with a boost at the moment. Flashbang easily avoided. Now they know where he is, and now he's dead. Round number 12 for G2. Are they moving towards the victory on Inferno? That would be a surprise.
Yeah.
Things wouldn't make any sense. But it looks like that might be happening. There is a buy there for MouseSports though. Not the best, but could be a lot worse. Just Snacks have on a pistol here. So they'll take it. 12-7. This round could decide it. If G2 can find this one cleanly and get the 13-7, I would say they're pretty much on for the victory here, but we'll see. There it is. 1 pistol. AWP for Oscar. He's back to full-time. AWPing responsibilities. It's just nuke for MouseSports, which is the main AWPing. On the top to stop any aggression at the start for the CTs. They'll answer one back to stop the rush. It's a game of tug of war on this side of the map. It's all about the utility. You can see them just trying to push them back and dissect that area. They'll check our logs next with some nades. There they are. And once they've got that control, they'll smoke T steps. And now they've expended so much utility in this area, they will stay in fights because they really do need to get something out of this. Got banana control, but someone needs to stay like barrels or half wall just to make sure this was a worthwhile investment. So indeed, Body will sit there. His teammate goes back and he'll fight for the frag. And now they get 4 players towards the A side of the map.
MouseSports though can still go for a late retake of Banana, which would be... It's sometimes very, very wise to do that. But for now, they are somewhat committed towards A. Oh my goodness, I thought that connected, but... No frag for Kenny just yet, and he moves into Oscar. Now that's a big kill. And as that happens, we see Sunny retaking Banana as well. So MouseSports with all sorts of options here. That's an important information play from Existence and picks up a frag. Spots that they're doubling back, but now Robs comes back to A. Do MouseSports go back to A as well? Looks like they will. This is a great call. Now it's so confusing for G2.
Shox alone. Ooh, he hears the footsteps. Now, another clutch situation for him. There's the bomb. Trying to take some angles away, looking for second players, but Rops will trade the frag, and we needed more from Shox on that occasion. He had to get a few, but this time he won't. Now G2 out of position, and the money's not spectacular for them, so it is safe territory for the French-speaking side.
Shox is 28-9. I just saw him actually getting all the kills there as well. You just don't know with Shox in that position. It's so strong.
Not on this occasion, though. But there'll be plenty more occasions for Shox because they have a 5-round lead, which will soon be 4. But it's a stark difference to Nuke.
And it's kind of one of the issues with G2 as well. Their redeeming features are in Shox and Kenny S, I think it's fair to say. And Shox and Kenny S can't be everywhere. It's a 5 versus 5. And so, well, we'll see if G2 can hold on to this, because MouseSports are starting to offer up some scary prospects, because the force buy for G2 or the ecos are now looking like they're going to come into play. And G2 are indeed taking a tactical timeout to try to discern what to do in this situation.
Well then.
Rush mid.
Looks like they might eco this one.
Oh.
Let's say surely some more investment will be applicable here. It's looking at the bigger picture. Going to save the 2 M4s here, leave the money around $2,000, and try and work the loss bonus up a little bit. And we get into round number 21. MouseSports have a chance to close the score margins here. We'll see what happens. Should be their round, considering nothing really bought into this apart from some CZs. 2 M4s, where will they stack them? Existence and body to wield them as we get into 3 players set up towards A, 2 towards B. Pretty standard stuff so far.
Concentration of G2 players around a short position, the pit position, and now the graveyard position. Well, with a pop-up at the right time, this could become quite dangerous for the likes of MouseSports, although they're giving their sound cues away, and maybe Shox is wondering, although he's only got USP, so I suppose he is expendable. 4 players now on the A bomb side, and MouseSports moving in. The numbers game works for 1 kill at the very least. Kenny seems undetected for a while now. The gun being redrawn for Sonny. That was a mistake. And now we're quickly into a 2-on-2. Chris J hasn't checked the corner properly. Should know how to do it by now. Oscar with free fire. 1-on-1. Smith's running up mid. Starts to walk. I don't think he's been hurt just yet. So many weapons to be collected. Oscar 9 HP. Has to make the right decision. And maybe that's the rotation towards the B bomb site.
He will be heading towards B indeed as he starts to run now. He has the advantage in some capacities, but not the HP. Shoxy did significant damage to him before he went down. Bomb to be planted, the same spot he attempted a clutch before. And now it's up to Smiths with the kit and a smoke. If you can smoke on top of the bomb and provoke a reaction, that should be it in terms of the HP. But Oscar, AWP here, doesn't miss many shots.
It's one of the strongest bomb sites to try to defend an after plant with an AWP on, and Oscar's gone for a deep play towards Banana. Let's see if this one pays off for him. Smiths will move through construction through the coffins now, and so
Really
checking the site. And there is the smoke on the bomb you're talking about. And the HE, I don't think it's going to do much. Oh, he's going to get this there. He's going to hit the mark. Oh, Smiths has done it. And a quick shot to the chest. But that will not be the round for MouseSports. Good stuff there from Smiths.
It's a little bit touch and go. Wasted, what, 10, 15 seconds walking all the way through ruins. But yeah, smoke on top of the bomb. 4 defused. Luckily, Oscar with the AWP, not the AK. So once that smoke was down, 4 defuse is looking likely. Always a little bit scary when you know they've got a kid as well. You've got 5 seconds. The first couple of shots don't connect. You start spamming. The PT quickly running the bullets very quickly. And the CT looking to challenge once again. Whether this will be successful is yet to be seen. It's an equal trade that actually favors the MouseSports side right now. This is a big round. Existence, a lot of damage. The utility war continues. They're free-firing everything. Concerny gets towards the logs, in fact. Existence like 1 HP right now. It's actually MouseSports to come out on top in that interaction.
Well, that's a lot of utility used for both sides. Sunny and the chicken by the tree. I miss being able to jump into the trees. Those were good times.
We can get in the tree.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
That was cool.
It was good.
Do you climb trees when you were young, James? Build
Actually,
tree houses?
I didn't build tree houses in central London, no, but I did. I did climb a lot of trees. I'd climb as high as possible, and then I would carve my name into the highest point I could reach.
Nice.
So many trees in SW1 have my name on them.
Treehouses always seem so cool. Right, we've got the play coming into the A bomb side here from MouseSports. Set piece with, well, limited grenades really. See if they can make it happen on the shots. Nice double from Existence. Will slow things down, but the bomb site still contested here. Now Oscar once again on this A side has to try to save it. He's got an AWP in hand. Oh, that looked on. I think Smith crouched and dodged just in time. And that's 14 to 8. G2 are 2 away
And the
from
money's
taking
right.
MouseSports down, and MouseSports have no money.
They might have to eco here.
I have I did not expect this.
They're going to buy at least one AK, and they're going to go all in and try and deny match points. This pretty much decides the game. If MouseSports can pull this one off, they'll have a chance to get the 7 rounds in a row required, but let's see what happens.
More nades from G2 here to counter, and you can see these open duels being taken. MouseSports want to fight, and they want to fight right now. Good shot coming in from Chris. He does get traded out, and the spacing from MouseSports is all over the place here. Eventually, the smoke will come down onto CT to cover the cross back onto the site for the plants, but Existence poses a threat, which will now be neutralized. So 3v3 after plants and guns to be collected. MouseSports, they can do this.
Good stuff from MouseSports, I have to say. Very good positioning, good timings, and punishing any sort of mistakes made by the CT. Shoxy convinced there's going to be a player coming in from the A side as his teammates battle to really take the bomb site here. They might have just to give in because I'm not sure they have what it takes, and indeed it looks like they might be falling back. Smiths and Co. smoking in. Time ticking away. Got a couple more flashbangs now. Certainly down to Shoxy and Co. with the rifles to find multiple frags very, very quickly. It might not happen though, as it all starts to fall apart. It will be the round for MouseSports. No quick finish here for G2. 14-9 guaranteed, and their money is destroyed equally. So
we saw the smoke grenade I was talking about from that little bench for the retake. It's nice to know a consistent smoke that doesn't have any gaps in it, so you can press on properly, press ahead, onwards and upwards, forward march, etc. G2 with dangerous pistols, and they pick up 4 smoke grenades, so they will be looking to put MouseSports in a situation where they may make errors, where they may be limited in time for error correction. We shall see where this journey takes us. G2 will hear the initial footsteps from MouseSports on Banana, but they're holding on to their smokes for the time being. 2 smokes towards A, 2 smokes towards B. 1 minute 15, and they have not deployed their first smoke grenade yet.
not yet, but it's coming. Couple of them go in towards the CT spawn and coffins area. CT's holding onto theirs, but there it goes. And now 5-7 CZ to take his first kill. Christian will get it though. Looking like he wants a bit more of action. But there it is, 4-on-4. The bomb is on that side of the map, but they don't have to commit. They've still got plenty of time. They'll fall back here. And still a chance for G2, but it's a slim one.
Oh, another smoke going down. That's not going to disappear until the 23 seconds mark. Smith's Bomb Library. This is going to be awkward. What are MouseSports going to be doing here? They have to go for the A bomb site at this point. But Shox, oh, that's so big. Sure, he gets traded, but Shox could have shut down the push and the plant potentially with some crazy shots. But now you really favor MouseSports massively.
Oh, yes. Bomb planted. Oscar presumably nails this shot, but struggling somewhat. There is a chance now for G2, but Rops is there to pick up the pieces. 2-on-2, and the smoke's down. It's just buying them so much time here. Both of them positioned towards the site, one in Graveyard, and the CTs with an AK might just be saving the weapon at this point. I see one of them sneaking away towards the arch. And there will be Rops to get the first, and doesn't look like this AK will be able to do too much here. Smiths is trying to lock them in, do whatever he can. Not saving the weapon anymore, trying to bait out the player towards Graveyard, but with no armor, he'll be taken down very easily. And there we have it, 14-10, double digits for MouseSports, as G2 continue to try and close out this game. Don't think they can really justify a buy again. Might be the eco here, as MouseSports get themselves right back in this head-to-head matchup.
Haven't had an overtime for a while, Henry.
We haven't, no. point.
Ooh, 4 HEs. They've got worms out. Cluster bomb is coming. And they're on one-player mode. No damage to be done. Body runs to his doom. A few pistols to take care of, and this is a nice test for MouseSports to see if they can keep their cool and stay focused on the comeback. 4 rounds away from G2 at present. 2 pistoling players remain. Somebody's fiddling with the door in second mid. Nice burst from Kenny. Got himself an upgrade. Got himself a hole in his chest. Now it's Shocks versus 4. Stranger things have happened. MouseSports moving towards the B bomb site. Will there be a smoke? No, they'll keep things open. Oh, they've got the first one at the very least. Made it a little more expensive for Snacks. And now G2 are back on the buy. The lead is reduced to 3.
It is indeed, James. But the money's starting to stabilize for G2. MouseSports getting closer and closer to finding the second map victory in this encounter between the French. Nuke was unstoppable for them as Sunny will challenge towards B. The Molotovs deployed. The war of utility begins once again. GT more than happy to expend a lot of their resources at the start of this round. Shoxy with a gap in the smoke. He'll help himself to Snacks and fall back.
That deep banana smoke will allow the GT side to take full control. And I always like it when we see T teams not respecting the smoke fully. They go for a flash through maybe, try to get a retake, try to really pressure and challenge CTs, not allowing them to have all the space and also the knowledge that they can rotate a player for free, which is what they're doing right now. Existence has made its way from B to A, leaving just Body on the B side of the map. So, so it would be, again, a timely point for a retake at that position. Makes things a little bit more unknown for the CTs, but nevertheless, MouseSports will go up for that top mid take with 50 seconds to go. And GT don't seem convinced as to what's going on. They've rotated Existence back to B. 40 seconds now. Looks like the A site is going to be the choice. Oh, that's so dangerous. Kenny! Down to 1.
Oh dear. Oh, well, at least Chris J was traded for by the Molotov. From G2's perspective, they retain a slight, ever so slight man advantage. Kenny with an AWP and 1 HP. Could that be the difference maker? Crossfire on the site won't matter. And MouseSports look good for 12.
Oh, we got him.
That is not what you see every day. And there's still a fighting chance here for G2. Where did that come from?
Just through the smoke, through the gap. And now there's definitely a fighting chance. If this kill pretty much decides it's going to be Sunny that comes out on top, and Existence will continue to try and find kills in awkward angles here. That time is running out and not giving him much to work with here whatsoever. They get to Dink, but unfortunately for G2, that one slips away as MouseSports get closer and closer to victory here. Another eco for the French team. That should have been G2. It felt like it was theirs, and the play from Kenny to run on the site through the flames was a little bit crazy for him, but good shot from Sunny. He manages to shut it down. And there it is, the final kill. Pistols again for G2.
3 smokes to Eagles, 5 sevens. Oh, 5-7. Singular. Not too much here for your GT to shout about. What's your favorite thing about 5-7, James?
The armor penetration.
Ooh.
Or either that or the bullets. But I think I picked up a CZ again recently. It's I like it on, actually my favorite thing is to use it on a pistol round in a position which could potentially be rushed by the teams in combination with a smoke, where if it's a narrow choke point I'll try and block with my body, and then the 5-7 I would prefer over a CZ because you can take out more people with 20 bullets.
Nice.
It's very situational, but I do enjoy it. But I think if I'm on an eco or a force buy and I want to make an aggressive play on, say, a cache, then I'd rather have a CZ.
Oof. Sunny will get the first. Take down Existence, but Smith's pretty much had a kill there, but Snacks is ready for him without the armor. Aim punch takes him down. Nice shot from Kenny. looking to upgrade the pistol potentially from his teammates' corpses. He'll get the deagle, but I'm not sure it will do much for him. It's going to be 14-13 now. MouseSports looking to take us all the way. As
all the way.
Shoxy will have just the CZ and spawn.
Hello.
Headshots.
Dead shocks.
I've actually run out of. I've bought so many skins that I've run out of names for them. So I need to find more inspiration.
Well, this could be MouseSports getting up to 15 if they can close this round. GT would have to save the next one. Kenny. Ooh, he's going deep. Oh, that's a miss. And another one. At least he survives. But he is definitely sad about that. Could have been a really big opener. MouseSports will just chill. You can see the approach at the beginning of the round is much more passive. They're not challenging for Banana at all. And the CTs, similarly, it seems like the CTs want to continue to have as many grenades as they possibly can. And so that does mean that Banana is for the taking. Kenny is so scary every time he fires the shot off. I feel like he can hit pretty much anything.
Absolutely anything.
Anything.
Who will get match point first? GT will be so gutted to give this one up after a decent comeback from Nuke. Here we go. There are a couple of frags in their favor. They might better post match point first here. 5 versus 3. It's up to Body and indeed Existence who are holding towards the beast up the map. Good incendiary to initial damage on the approach, but they've got the entry kill here, and Existence now not on the site. He will actually have to struggle on the retake here. Does he want to challenge any further or let them plant? That is the question. He has to, though. Dictated by the flames, so just sitting towards the ruins and a double stack towards Emo. With Oscar on the AWP. They still have a very good fighting chance here, MouseSports. Mark my words.
3 players in construction. They've got to run distraction because Shox is the only man coming from the banana position. Starting to speed up now is Shox. Final grenades coming in for G2. Can they finally get that match point going? Oscar still holding his angle. Chris J top covering his back. There's a big frag from Chris J. Oh, the one tap from him. And now it's Kenny. Can he burn enough time? I think he might have. Yes, he has. That's a wrap. Time to run away, Kenny. Will he even make it?
14-14. Oh my God. That was a 4-on-2. I told you as soon as MouseSports had, I saw the names, Chris J and Oscar. And you're just like, well, if the orb's there, if he starts hitting them, this could be great. And that one tap as well was delicious. Took down the penultimate kill here with this one. Ooh. That's filthy, isn't it? And then he just has to hide and run the clock down. And there we go. MouseSports with 14 rounds on the board as well. Do they buy into this round, G2? I feel like they won't. And they'll have a 4x for round number 30, where they can hopefully take themselves to overtime, boys.
Wow.
What a game, though. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
Big plays.
Big.
It'll be gutting over G2, though, if they give this one up now.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult as well for them to find wins, I think, just generally. Like, everything has seemed to be somewhat of a struggle for them thus far. So, and likewise, you know, MouseSports don't want to concede against them just because it feels like G2, there are some days where maybe they can actually take maps away from people, and then there are others where they really struggle. But here they're playing really well, and we'll see if they can get to 15 on a CZ buy. This is a nasty situation for them. Presence in the apps, and MouseSports with a quick take into mid using Oscar to peek. Oh, it's very dangerous, but it looks like they got up to top mid. Oh, I don't know if Kenny saw anybody, and he re-peeks it. That's a very big win for MouseSports. Look at the positioning they have now.
Shoxy, though, always dangerous in these apartments. Smiths with the scouts, not the ideal weapon. This should be a kill for Shox, though, not if he expends all the bullets. 5-on-2, Existence and Body, with nothing to do, as they'll fall back and hold on to the pistols here. Looking for any sort of exit frags, but that's a very good round for MouseSports. They won a 4-on-2 before. It will be them to post match point. I can't believe I'm saying that. The comeback has been insane. You can see they've strung what is it, 7 rounds in a row now on the T side of Inferno?
I think this will be 7, yes.
So that's mental. They've actually pulled it back and got the match point first. G2 will just be mentally broken giving up this one. After getting battered on Nuke, they win the pistol in the second half. They had like a 13-5 lead. And it's all gone wrong. Very, very wrong, Dan.
Pete Tong.
It has, yeah.
It's all gone Pete Tong. G2 will have the money to buy whatever they want. But they have had on many a round now. And it has ended in failure, and they find themselves at this point echoing to play for overtime. Things were looking so good, but it seems the core of the apple is a little brown.
It's got worms in it.
Double AWPs, Body picking up a second one. A timeout just in time from MouseSports. Maybe to discuss how things may, the approach may change here for G2. They may change how they've been playing these CT rounds, but maybe not go for something crazy and aggressive, because if it is high variance, now is perhaps not the time.
Here we go. One more round to decide it, in regulation at least. MouseSports looking for the clean finish. Double AWP set up from Body and Kenny S. It used to be Shoxy and Kenny S for the first few months, especially this map's initial release and this iteration of it when it was remade. They were the ones that really defined a double AWP. Being successful was always Shoxy towards B, Kenny S in middle. No one could really take them down. Before this utility war began on this side of the map, the AWPs were absolute kings, but his Body trying to get it done. They'll boost up Kenny S. Has not gone well. He fell off. And Oscar is laughing at them now.
That's a big fall. Trying to get in there before the smoke blooms. Unsuccessful. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
That's not good.
Filthy.
5 versus 3, MouseSports. This is going to take something special from Existence, but he can't find anything. 2 versus 5 for G2 to stop MouseSports taking this game. Oh my god. All the kills from just like behind smokes, behind walls.
Smith should just save at this point, even though it's the last round. Just so there's a little less violence, because it's just too much, isn't it? 16 to 14 for MouseSports with 8 rounds in a row. G2 couldn't find that match point.
It's got to be so gutting for these two boys.
Yeah.
Just when it felt like they turned their game around, said, guys, we managed to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off. And this run was really cool. It just didn't work out at all, did it? 8 rounds in a row to close things out. And it's Chris J continuing to apply the pain every single round of the AWP. Great half from Shox in the first half, boys. He put up monstrous numbers, but still it wasn't enough. They were missing Shox on Nuke. They found them on Inferno and still can't get a map victory. Rob's looking decent in the pit as usual. Always going to be very good in those areas, but damn, like, they've got to be absolutely devastated with that one.
Yeah,
just
so
considering
hard,
the way they've looked recently.
Yeah, it's really difficult when you just lose momentum at the wrong time against a team like MouseSports. And
32 frags.
So many close rounds. The funny thing is that in the last, like, obviously during the comeback at MouseSports, Shox, I think during that period, maybe only got like 2 frags. He was on 28 kills, I think, in the first 20 rounds. Yeah. So, yeah. Somehow, I don't know if MouseSports did something specifically or how it transpired, but Shox wasn't able to have impact.
Still not enough. 34 kills. It ain't enough to get a map victory. What's he got to do, boys?
It raises the firepower question, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. We've been talking about that a lot recently. You can look at the usual suspects, but Existence decent numbers for him at least. 16 kills, 25 deaths. And Smith's 11 and 20. But look at the other team, of course. 3 players in 20s. Oscar, Sunny, and Chris J. And Snacks will be on 12 and 23. He's in the 20s in the deaths, at least, so not the best from him. But there we go, gents. It will be another victory for MouseSports. G2 leave with nothing apart from a few more rounds on the board. That's about it. No victory for them there. I guess we can look at the leaderboards and see what's going on there. And here we go. It will be MouseSports with 6 wins under or 6 games played, 5 wins under the belt, just the 1 loss. G2 now 0 and 2, NIP 0 and 2 as well. Virtus Pro have 1 to their name. I guess we're still waiting for some of the other big names to play a few more games Obviously, FaZe only with 2 so far, Fnatic even yet to play. So anything jumping out for you there, chaps?
MouseSports are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Astralis having 0 losses in the right direction as well. Other than that, it's pretty early.
Yeah, G2, we need to wait to see a bit more from them.
Yeah.
But they're definitely going to get some wins. This when they will arrive, I'm not sure. That was much better from them, but still not quite enough. I'm still shocked that he got 34 kills and they still couldn't close it out. He's got to be absolutely fuming with that one.
It's tough, isn't it?
It is tough. But that is going to be it for the European division, at least for today. We'll be back tomorrow with that. But we also have got North American Counter-Strike coming up in about an hour exactly on the nose. So don't go anywhere. Or maybe go get some lunch now. Get ready.
I'm playing on FACEIT.
You're going to be playing? Right now?
Absolutely. Yeah, Mythic League.
All right, he's going to be there. If you want to check that out, I don't know, is that a thing you can do? That's what we should do in the breaks. We should just put your stream on.
Yeah.
And then we have that filling up with a bit of an overlay saying what's happening next.
Yeah, just in the corner.
Yeah.
Right off of Mythic League.
Why don't we do that? We'll make it happen. Anyway, maybe we will. Come back in about an hour. We'll do North American division of ECS Season 6. See you there.